We all need a vacation, but you can't even get a plane ticket for less than $200 these days. That's where these 8 travel apps come in handy. And no, they're not your average Kayak or Expedia. I didn't put them on this list. I tested dozens of lesser known apps, and these are the ones that actually saved me money on flights, food, and things to do, and made my travels easier and more fun. Hi, I'm Carrie, a digital nomad, and I travel a lot. So when I'm in a new city, I always try to use public transportation because I personally think that it is the best way to explore. If you're not familiar with the local transportation, Google Maps can be pretty confusing. So instead, I always use Citymapper. It is a one-stop shop for navigating my way around any new city and the public transportation. Basically, it's a transit app that shows you all the different ways to get from point A to point B, including buses, trains, subways, and even walking and biking. So personally, my favorite way is actually to walk around the city because then you get to see all these things for free, right? So it works by having live data that is accurate, and it gives you accurate ETAs, costs for every single option. And it saves me tons of money when I travel because that way I don't have to Uber. And because it's all real time, you'll know exactly what is running late and even the routes that have stopped running altogether. And to make planning your day even easier, I'll cover my favorite apps that create automatic itineraries for you in a bit. And no, it's not ChatGPT. Now, if you're like me, you've probably wasted money standing in line and paying massive fees for packed, underwhelming touristy destinations. And that's where Atlas Obscura travel guide app comes in. It's literally changed the way that I travel because I've ditched so many crowded spots and have really found the cheap and free hidden gem spots. This app lets you browse by location or interest, so I always find something interesting and exciting that I like way more than the places I've seen a billion times on Instagram already. And the real money saving benefit? Well, Atlas Obscura has steered me away from expensive tourist traps and overpriced guided tours. And a lot of these hidden gem spots that I'm talking about are free and they have really cheap entry fees. Plus, exploring their on foot and bike destinations really saves you an arm and a leg on transit. Remember how I said I love walking and biking? Okay, number 3. So no matter where you travel, you gotta eat. And so if you are road tripping or renting a car, you gotta get gas, right? And personally, eating when I visit a new city is my favorite part. But eating out can get expensive, especially if you have more people. And this app has really helped me explore new restaurants and make my wallet happy. And my favorite part about this app is that you are actually making money when you are spending on food, gas, and snacks. And of course, I'm talking about the Upside app. So if you do already have it downloaded, you can skip to the next section. And if you're new, here's a recap. Upside gives you cash back offers on over 100,000 locations between restaurants, gas, and grocery stores across the US. I've earned over $250 just from eating out here in New York City using Upside in just a couple months. And I used it a ton to eat out when I was visiting Denver, Colorado, Los Angeles, and also Columbus, Ohio earlier last year. It's so good for gas and restaurants. Use the code YouTube10 if you want to get a bonus 10% cash back on your very first restaurant offer with Upside. So Upside is only available here in the US right now, but it's really so perfect for your summer road trips and if you're just hitting up a few cities here in the US. And if you like making money while you spend it, I cover all the different ways to earn cash back in this video. A great thing about Upside is when you make money, you actually can use it on your trip. And here's a 3-minute Upside tutorial, linked it below. Okay, number 4. Remember earlier how I said that you could get an automatic itinerary? Well, TripIt has become a must-have for me because I really struggle with planning out my daily schedule. I'm ADHD and planning out that far ahead is just really difficult for me. I honestly wish there was a version for everyday life too. So all you have to do is put in your confirmation emails for your hotels, your planes, and all the activities that you've booked and anything else that you're doing, and it will build an itinerary for you. So this has saved me so much time and stress from downloading everything, organizing it in my own calendar. Like, I'm just terrible at that. So, you know, again, I struggle from ADHD and this really, really helps. But I know it'll help you even if you don't have ADHD. And also, if you upgrade and subscribe to TripIt Pro, you can monitor flight prices and when they drop with their fare tracker. And that way, you can potentially snag a refund and have even more extra cash for your trip. So I've been using this next hack for the past 5 years to get cheap flights, and it's honestly the thing that has saved me the most money on flights. But it's not actually an app. It's actually an email newsletter that sends you alerts when there are insane flight deals. If you haven't heard of Going, which used to be called Scott's Cheap Flights, and now you have. I actually started using it when it was called Scott's Cheap Flights. Oh, what a mouthful. Glad they changed it to Going. Anyways, now you know about it. So how it works is that it combines technology with real life travel gurus who hunt for errors in flight fares. And that's why you get these super crazy deals. And then they send out the email newsletter with all the exclusive offers. And what you have to do is you have to jump on them fast. So you have to be ready. But if you know what you're looking for, right, you will be ready. So the free membership gives you access to some deals, but there are a lot of members like me that upgrade to the paid plan, which is $49 a year. And which, if you think about it, that's around $4 a month. It seriously pays off because it'll be worth it in literally one flight. And the money that you're saving will pay for the subscription for like 10 years. But if you aren't trying to hop on these like flash deals, I do cover all of my other flight savings apps in this travel video. So definitely go check that one out after this one. And I know I've mentioned my favorite travel credit cards in these videos, but if you're buying flights, it's so smart to use a travel credit card. That way you can earn points and get cash back on these really big expenses because flight points are worth a lot. Number 6, if you traveled in groups a lot like I have, you know how tricky and awkward splitting costs can be, especially if you have a large group.
Mimosas.
Treat yourself.
Fine leather goods.
Treat yourself.
It's the best day of the year.
The best day of the year!
And it can get, honestly, pretty messy and dramatic at times. Okay, maybe that's just me, but I'm personally really awkward about asking friends to pay me back, so maybe it's a personal problem. Well, anyways, this app is gonna solve those problems. Splitwise is a shared expense tracker that honestly has saved me a ton of financial stress and probably some of my friendships too. And if you thought of a specific person when I brought this up, give this video a thumbs up because, you know, we all have that friend who still hasn't paid us back. For example, if I paid for dinner for the whole group one night and then a friend grabs a round of drinks and then someone else covers all the Ubers, Splitwise will help everyone add up whatever they paid for and their expenses and then split it among everyone in the group. It makes it so much easier where at the end of the trip you can skip all of that awkwardness and money disputes and just pay everyone back and go on your merry way. Plus, another benefit for me is that it really encourages me to be much more mindful about spending when I'm on a trip because, you know, sometimes it's easy to get carried away. I actually spent a whole month paying for a lot of group outings for friends at dinners and stuff on purpose so that I could earn max cash back with upside. And I do talk about it in this video. What I earned is not what I expected. So I try to live out my everyday life like the Lizzie McGuire movie where she's riding on that Vespa, you know, all throughout Rome. If you don't get that reference, it's okay. But basically what I'm trying to say is I love using the local cheap rideshare apps instead of only relying on Uber and Lyft because in some countries they don't even have that. But also, you know, for example, here in New York, there are local ones that will give you a lot of great deals. I use Revolut here in New York, but they're also in like DC, San Francisco, Miami, and a few other places. And right now they have, you know, like an intro deal where you get 40% off your first 2 rides. So, you know, it's pretty smart if you're traveling somewhere to go and download the local rideshare and then use the deals. Oh, by the way, I like Revolut because it only has electric vehicles. Or if you're going to Europe, use apps like Tier or Yago to get cheap electric scooters, bikes, or motorcycle scooters. See? That Vespa Lizzie McGuire dream is happening. And if you do decide to rent a car or you are road tripping, remember to get gas with the Upside app offers because you're gonna get cash back for every gallon of gas that you spend. I don't think I've said this yet, but if you're new to Upside, you can get an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back on your first fuel up with the code YouTube. So make sure to download and use that if you haven't yet. Okay, moving on, number 8. So my family is from China and I've done a lot of international travel throughout my life. And so I've dealt with foreign money a lot and it's kind of a pain in the butt. So there are fees, foreign exchange rates, and there's always added unnecessary stress in my opinion. And this app makes it super easy. And of course I'm talking about the Revolut app. It is a game changer. Basically, it's a travel app with a prepaid card. I load it up with US dollars before I travel abroad, and then you can use it overseas like a debit card. And the best part, Revolut doesn't play games like adding hidden fees. They use real exchange rates, so I save money on every single purchase. Plus, I get free ATM withdrawals, which means no more scrambling for cash at sketchy ATMs or having to pay cash out with credit cards and then pay those extra fees. And Revolut has kept my travel money so organized, and it saves me money, and really I can just focus on the vacation instead of worrying about like being in a foreign country. Now that you know the best apps for saving and having more fun when you're traveling, leave a comment if you have any other apps that you like to use when you're traveling that I did not mention here today. You know, let's share the love. And don't forget to download the Upside app if you haven't yet. You know, it's something that I literally use every single day, whether I'm traveling or not. That's it for today. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have an amazing trip. You eat lots of yummy food and you save some money so that you can spend it back on travel. Am I right? Have a good one, everyone. See you next time.